Hi, Les from Retired and Living the Dream, and another Wash the Car video. Now I think this is going to be an interesting one because I've had lots and lots of people watching these videos. It appears that bad news sells, and I wish I had as many views on my other videos as I did with these last two. Over 30,000 views on two videos. So it's obviously a touchy subject and one that interests many people. And many people have asked me, what am I going to do? So I'll wash the car and I'm going to explain what am I going to do. So, yep, 30,000 views, and I've got to say the majority of people have been very positive, and I would say 95% of the people are positive thinking and wish me the best, and you get the odd one or two people that, you know, sort of negative towards it, but hey ho, that's the way it goes, isn't it? If you put yourself on YouTube, then you know, you put your head above the parapet. So I'm open and honest, and all my videos have been about me, my lifestyle living here. So you take the rough with the smooth, and sadly this is a little bit of rough, but I'm going to explain as to where I think I'm going to go, what I'm going to be doing. And there are many other guys, not just me. 65-year-old, that's what the thumbnail is for, about this 65-year-old and starting all over again. So yeah, here I am, 65, coming up to 66 in July. Find myself going through another split up, which isn't easy. Split ups and divorces are never easy. But it is what it is, isn't it? There's all the people who say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the other. Again, I'm going to go and do what I feel I want to do. What's on my bucket list, if you like. And I can live with that because it's my decision. But everything, this is day 5 of my wife has gone. I've had me weepy moments, I've had me, why me, you know, what have I done wrong, what could I have done to save it, etc, etc. We all go through that, no matter who you are. You know, we all think, well, what have I done wrong to do this? And I've been there, and I've done it, and I've got the t-shirt, and it's just time to move on now. It is what it is. Am I unhappy with the situation? Not really, no. I've moved on, and many people say, would you have her back? And no, I wouldn't. Not because I hate her or don't like her. I still have feelings for Ploy. She was a wonderful person. But Thai culture comes in the way of our feelings and our wants and needs, such as the strong family bond that they have here, which we've lost in the Western world. We don't have them family bonds like we used to have years and years ago. But in Thailand, it is still very much alive. So I am a circumstances of family bonds here in Thailand. And a lot of this video will be talking about that because, you know, I didn't see this coming. When all said and done, I didn't see it coming because maybe I turned away from it. Where's me cloth? So I didn't see this coming. And I suppose naivety or, I don't know what you call it. You know, I'm sure somebody will put a name to it. Stupidity, naivety, you know, put whatever you want. I didn't see this coming. Although her son was a pain in the backside, you know, he was 7 hours away. He lived a long, long way away. Ploy's mum and dad were looking after him. I said from day one with Ploy, I didn't want any kids living with me. I've had my kids growing up. This is my retirement. This is what I want to do. And she accepted that. So her mother, mum and dad, carried on bringing up Lung like they had done for the past 8 years while she was working. So yes, we put the ground rules down right at the very beginning that I didn't want kids, and we lived by that, and she accepted that. And majority of the girls who were working, the grandparents look after the kids. If they're single, that is, the grandparents look after the kids anyway, so it's nothing different. That's just the way it is. And as I say, again, I've said in the video, from when I first met him, he was defiant. And I'm thinking, whoa, I'm glad he's not living with us, because he was just a nasty boy, and he's never ever going to change. But hey ho, he's not my son. It's just the way it goes on, and that's the end of that one. But the warning signs for other people, as far as family is concerned, is, you know, you might be the provider as I was, but at the end of the day, family come number one. And I'm going to explain as to this may have happened at a later date. And again, I sort of put it at the back of my mind, because me and Ploy, we had 9.5 good years together. I can't complain. I enjoyed living with Ploy. Was she perfect? No, she wasn't. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. If you're looking for perfection, then you're never going to find it. But we sort of put up with it. So, Ploy's parents are aged. They're older than me. So a couple of years older than me. So this is my thoughts. And anybody else listening to this, have a think about it. Don't ignore it. Have a plan B, see what's going to happen. Because Ploy's parents are in the late 60s, and although they are hard workers, they are lovely people. In fact, all of Ploy's family is lovely, apart from my son. And hard working, and they always have been and always will be. But there's going to come a day when they can't work in the fields, and they can't do anything. Her dad's already suffering with gout, and while she was there for the month, she was helping, and she could see her dad was struggling with gout. So have this as a warning sign, because she's the daughter and the only girl in the family, she's sort of duty bound by Thai culture to take care of her parents. So she asked me whether I'd go and live in the farm many years ago, and we could have lived in the farm. We would have been rent free. I could have lived a very, very cheap life, rural, but it's not like what I've got here. And after 3 or 4 weeks of living on the farm, I couldn't live that rural lifestyle. So I says no, and this is why we bought this. And my wife had said to us, if we lived on the farm, then she was expected to work up at 5 o'clock every morning, which she was every time we visited. So she couldn't just lay in bed, because it just wouldn't be allowed. The Thai culture. You know, she used to get up at 10 o'clock in the morning and have an easy life laying on the hammock and stuff like that. She's never ever done that back at the farm. She works very, very hard, so it would be expected. So if her parents became ill, then she'd be expected to take care, because the other members of the family live in Bangkok and various places, and they're all boys, and they've all got their family to look after. So who does it come down to? Ploy. Because she's the girl, and that's what's expected. So I think, in the long run, this would have happened. Now I've got a clear mind, and I'm thinking, what if? And so maybe it's just a little bit of my fault that I didn't fight as much, because, you know, if she left me for a druggy son, then I'm not worth fighting for, not worth arguing for. I'm not saying, can we come to a solution? Can we come to a compromise? Can we sort this out? She never ever said that. Never. I had a couple of solutions that maybe would have partly solved the problem, and she wouldn't have to go. In my mind was, okay, you tell me what you want to do. You know, I'm not going to give you my solutions until I've heard what you've said. And she had nothing to explain about. You know, well, what if we do this? What if we do that? How do you feel about this? And she never ever condemned her son for, he's ruined my life, he's ruined my parents' life, he's ruined your life. Nothing. He never got a blame. Never got the blame at all. You know, and he has ruined everybody's lives. There's no doubt about it. But not one single word was said about him being the person that he was, which has ruined a lot of people's lives. So when I took all of that lot into consideration, I think maybe it is best if you go. And I'm sad that it happened like that, but I'm heartbroken. Yes, I was heartbroken at the time, but here we are now, day 5, and I've had many comments on the videos, which I appreciate it, and thank you very much for everybody who's left a comment and put their pennies worth. I've read everyone and I've tried to answer every single comment on there, but sadly I couldn't do everyone because it just took hours and hours and hours. And but I appreciate it, and thanks very much for those people who took the effort to, you know, talk about it. Again, criticism, I'll take constructive criticism, but people who are rude or damn right obnoxious, then they just get deleted. So I'm here to listen to what anybody else has to say and advice as to, because here I am now, back in the boat, back in the single man's boat. But I'm not unhappy about it because my glasses always are full. I've got other things that I can do, and I will be doing. And this channel will go into a different direction. Am I looking for wife number 5? I think not. I think I'll give it 4 goes, and for whatever reason or another, they all failed. And I've always been a good provider. But it would appear that even sometimes a good provider isn't enough. Maybe I'm a boring person to live with because I'm, Mr. Nice Guy. I don't know. But I thought being a provider, somebody who respects everybody, you've got it cracked, but obviously not. Anyway, life goes on, doesn't it? And I start another chapter now, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going back to the UK in May for a month or so. I'm looking forward to that, seeing new friends, and seeing how bad it really is over there. And I'll do a few videos about that in comparison to my life here. I mean, is this a bad life at 65-year-old? I've still got the cars, the bikes, the house. None of it which I've lost. It's all been taken care of, or steps have been made to go in that direction. And I know many people ask that. Again, it is a unique situation in Thailand because I can't own the land that the house sits on. But it's sort of too complicated to talk about it on here. But for those people who are worried about me losing everything, no, I'm not losing anything. In fact, it's probably one of the easiest divorces I've ever had as far as monetary wise is concerned, and hassle's concerned, and solicitors and lawyers, and we are the cash cow. We've still got to go down to the Ampere office and get divorced, sign all the paperwork, but Floy signed everything over to me, the car, the motorbikes, because we got the car and it was in her name because we got it on finance. It was her suggestion to do all of this lot, so for those people who slagging her off, she was a genuinely nice person. She's never ever ripped me off, never ever done anything bad to me. And even in the hardest moments, even for her, she signed everything and got all the paperwork sorted out, and we did that the day before she left. And she said, I won't go until the paperwork and everything's sorted out. So respect for her for that. She's gone through a hard time as well, and so am I. But life goes on. She's happy now because she's back with the family. She's not a poor girl. She's got her own house with no mortgage, no loan. She's got an income on the farm because she owns her own farm. She doesn't owe any money on it whatsoever. So she's not one of these poor Thai girls. She's actually wealthier than me. So she wasn't greedy. She wasn't, you know, vicious or as some women do. So that's it. That was in a nutshell. If anybody wants to ask any questions, please feel free to send me an email. And, you know, I'm no expert, I'm no guru, but I'm recovering. So from Les, retired and living the dream, thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.